Hey, what's up guys? Houston here, back with the third video, and I want to ask you, did you get your EIN too soon? And did your EIN end up costing you to get no funding? Now, the reason that I asked that is because a lot of people, they jump ahead of the game. In the previous video, we actually talked about the business structure, right? And there's a purpose why these videos are set up like this, and it's going to very well resonate with you. Here's the thing about it. Once you have your business structure, right, you need to get your business structure clear through the Secretary of State first, okay? Get your business clear through the Secretary of State for, then you go for your EIN/tax ID, right? Then you go for this, all right? This is one of the biggest reasons a lot of people end up getting delayed in terms of their business and stuff, because they would jump ahead of the game. They would put in their paperwork for their business structure. However, the Secretary of State may take a little longer and they may not clear it right away, right? And because they don't clear it right away, some people will just jump ahead and they will get the EIN number. So then you get the EIN number before you get your paperwork back from the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State said, well, we cannot use that name because somebody else is using that name, or the name that you have is already trademarked. So because the name is already trademarked, you already got the EIN number. Guess what? You have to refile over and get a new EIN and call the IRS to dissolve this here existing EIN number. That's right. Now, question is, how many EIN numbers can you have? Actually, you can have multiple EIN numbers. You can only have one Social Security number, but you can have multiple EIN numbers. Now, can you use your EIN number, your ITIN number, to get another EIN number? Yes. But again, remember in the last video, I was talking about FinCEN, right? BOI. So even if you use another EIN number to get an EIN, they're still going to want the personal information of the person that owns that business entity, okay? So you're still not getting around not exposing yourself. You still have to expose yourself, right? So that's the reason I tell people, just do it the correct way. Yes, you can have multiple EIN numbers, but just one social. Now, some people, for those of you that may know, CPN, credit privacy number. People have been trying to use this here fictitious number as their Social Security number to get an EIN. And the system will let you know if this is a CPN or a fake Social Security number, because the name as well as the date of birth will not match up. Okay, so that's the reason they would know, especially like with the name. Your name is very sensitive, and I've had a couple clients recently because they spelled their name a certain way or whatever, even though that was their real social, because they spelled their name a certain way, when I put it in the system, it would not allow me to give them an EIN number, right? So I had to figure out, okay, what is it that you actually are putting on your tax papers, okay? Because that's the name that really makes the difference, because that's the name they're going to correlate. Now, if that name doesn't correlate with that number, then they know that this may be a fictitious number, all right? Just so you can have some knowledge of that. Now, there's something else I wanted to address that I talked about in the last video, but I didn't go full detail. A lot of people want to know about a virtual address, okay? So you're gonna get two lessons in this video, all right? They talk about a virtual address. Should I get a virtual address, or should I use my home address, right? Or should I use my home address? Now, here's the thing about it. Now, with financial institutions, because they've taken so many hits with people setting up businesses using virtual addresses that have been recycled, when you try to use that virtual address to open up a business bank account, they may not open it. Now, you yourself, you may not have any idea. So you may go to one of these companies that offer virtual addresses and virtual phone numbers, right? But this information has been registered in these different databases, okay? And so a company, reiterating what I said in the last video, a company prior to your company used that virtual address, okay? And so when they use that virtual address, they got credit cards and stuff and loans and stuff. And then they defaulted on them, right? So they defaulted on that debt, right? Under this virtual address. So now you done set up this new business structure with this new EIN, and you have this virtual address, and you go to the bank and they say, well, we can't use that address. All right. A lot of times the bank branch manager may not know. It's always the underwriters. They will know. And so in their system lets them know, hey, this address has been used multiple times to get credit and stuff, and those people have not paid those debts. Okay, that's what I was mentioning about the phantom debt. You have to be very careful. This is the reason why I tell people you may want to consider your home address, right? For opening up the bank account and stuff, and then using a forwarding address to get your mail and stuff like that, right? So that way, because you use your home address, that does not stop you from getting business funding. That's one of the biggest reasons a lot of people think that I need to have a virtual address or a commercial address so I can get the maximum amount of funding. That's not stopping you from getting the maximum amount of funding. Your address is not. Now, are there somewhat biases in terms of where you open up your business, different zip codes that may determine certain things? Yes, but the majority of the time, it's not the address that's stopping you from getting the funding. Okay, so you need to keep that in mind. Yes, you can use your home address. I understand some people, they are worried about, oh, I don't want nobody to know my address. Again, when you open up your business bank account, you create a forwarding address to somewhere else. That way people on hand do not know your business address. Even with the Secretary of State, they would allow you to have a secondary address, okay? It's just when you actually register the business, they do not want a P.O. box, okay? They do not want a P.O. box, so you can't have a P.O. box to register your business. But you can have your home address and then a secondary address to do your mail forwarding. But in terms of just worrying about business credit funding and things of that nature, it's not about the address, all right? That's not stopping you, okay? Now, for those of you that may have more questions about business credit funding in terms of, am I using the right EIN? Did I choose it at the right time or whatever? Click the link, schedule a one-on-one consultation. Now, the next video, we're going to be discussing the power of payroll. That's right, because a lot of people are missing so many opportunities of funding because they don't have payroll. So we're going to discuss the power of the payroll. All right, so I'll see you in the next video.